Welcome back to our channel, Rare Coins All World, coin collectors and enthusiasts, to another exciting episode where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. If you're a fan of history, or perhaps you've recently stumbled upon a collection of old coins in your attic or even in your pocket change, you might be sitting on a hidden treasure. Today, we're going to be talking about one of the most iconic pennies in American numismatics, the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny. Now, at first glance, it may just seem like an ordinary penny, but trust me, it holds a much higher value than you might expect. Stick with us as we explore why the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny is not only a historical gem but could also be worth a significant amount of money. Let's begin by diving into the history behind the Lincoln Wheat Penny itself. This coin was first introduced in 1909, to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. The design, created by Victor David Brenner, features the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, while the reverse showcases two stalks of wheat. The wheat design symbolized America's agrarian roots and stood as a tribute to the country's agricultural heritage. For nearly 50 years, the wheat penny was in circulation, becoming one of the most beloved and recognized coins in American history. However, by the time the 1949 penny was minted, the coin was nearing the end of its production run. It was only a decade away from being replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Penny in 1959, which marked the end of the wheat design era. Despite the impending change, the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny is still widely regarded by collectors for its connection to this classic series and its potential for value. Now, you might be wondering, what makes the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny stand out from the other pennies in the series? Well, let's break it down. The 1949 penny is part of the last few years of production for the Lincoln Wheat Penny series, and as such, it represents an important chapter in the history of U.S. coinage. As with most years, millions of these pennies were produced to meet the demands of the growing economy, but their current value is influenced by a variety of factors, including rarity, condition, and any special characteristics. The first and most obvious factor that affects the value of the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny is its condition. Most coins from this era were heavily circulated, and many of them show signs of wear and tear, such as scratches, discoloration, or even dents. A penny that has been passed through countless hands over the years isn't going to be worth as much as one that has been well preserved. But that's where the excitement comes in. There are still many 1949 Lincoln Wheat pennies that have survived in excellent condition, and these coins are highly sought after by collectors. The condition of a coin is graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. Most 1949 Lincoln Wheat pennies fall somewhere between the lower grades, like good or fine, but the higher quality specimens are what collectors dream of. If you happen to find a 1949 penny that is uncirculated or in near mint condition, it could be worth significantly more than you might expect. A coin in pristine condition can easily sell for several $100s, and if it is in absolutely perfect condition, you could be looking at a much higher price point. One thing to keep in mind is that the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny comes with a few different mint marks, which also play a role in its value. Coins that were produced at different U.S. mints have distinctive mint marks. For the 1949 penny, you'll find three different mint marks: the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. The Philadelphia Mint, being the primary mint, did not use a mint mark for coins struck in 1949, meaning these pennies are typically more common. On the other hand, the Denver and San Francisco Mint pennies, which feature a D and S mint mark respectively, are often considered rarer and may be worth more due to their lower mintage numbers. Now, if you thought that the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny was just another typical coin, think again. There are also certain errors that can significantly increase the value of this penny. Coins with minting errors are highly sought after by collectors because they are unique and not commonly found. For example, there are reports of 1949 pennies that were struck with double dies, which means the design was imprinted twice on the coin, causing the features to appear doubled. These errors are relatively rare, and if you happen to find a 1949 penny with a double die or another minting anomaly, you could be in possession of a coin worth far more than the average specimen. Additionally, coins with misstrikes, off-centering, or unusual die cracks can also bring in higher prices. The more unusual the error, the more valuable the coin becomes. In some cases, a coin with a particularly dramatic error can bring in thousands of dollars at auction. So, if you're going through your collection of 1949 pennies or you happen to stumble upon one in your change, make sure to examine it closely for any unique characteristics that could make it more valuable. It's also worth noting that, over time, the scarcity of high-quality examples of the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny has contributed to its growing value. As many of these pennies were circulated, worn down, and eventually removed from circulation, the number of well-preserved specimens has dwindled. Today, collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that are in excellent condition or that possess unique characteristics, such as mint errors or rare varieties. So, let's get to the most exciting part, the value of the 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny. If you find a 1949 penny in near mint condition or one that has a rare error, you might be wondering just how much it could be worth. Well, based on the rarity, condition, and demand for these coins, it's not uncommon for a 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny in high grade to fetch anywhere from several hundred to several $1,000s at auction. The most valuable examples, those that are in pristine, uncirculated condition or feature a rare error, can bring in even more. In fact, a 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny with exceptional quality or a unique error has been known to sell for as much as $100,000. That's right, $100,000 for a single penny. It's amazing to think that something as small and seemingly insignificant as a penny could be worth such an incredible amount. But it just goes to show how much the world of coin collecting can surprise you. If you have a 1949 Lincoln Wheat Penny in your possession, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. Don't assume that just because it's a common year it's not valuable. With the right condition, mint mark, or error, your penny could be worth far more than you ever imagined. It's always a good idea to have your coins professionally graded if you think you have a rare specimen, especially one with a mint error or in near-perfect condition. Today, we're diving deep into the world of one of the most fascinating coins in American history, the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny. This seemingly humble coin, with its iconic design and historical significance, has become a hot item for collectors and treasure hunters alike. If you've ever wondered whether that old penny tucked away in your drawer or hidden in your change jar might be worth something more than its face value, then this video is for you. Stick around because by the end, we'll reveal just how much this 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny could potentially be worth, and trust me, you'll be surprised. The history of the Lincoln Wheat Penny dates back to 1909 when it was first introduced to the public. It was created to commemorate the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth and was designed by Victor David Brenner. The design featured a bust of Lincoln on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse. This wheat design, symbolizing America's agricultural roots, remained on the coin until 1958, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design. Now, let's focus on the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny. At this time in history, the United States was in the midst of World War II, and the country was experiencing a number of significant economic and social changes. Coin production had been slowed due to wartime materials shortages, and in 1943, the U.S. Mint even switched to producing pennies made of steel to conserve copper for military purposes. However, in 1944, the Mint returned to producing copper pennies, and this is where things get interesting. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny, made from copper, became one of the most intriguing coins to collectors, and this is partly due to the historical context of its production. Now, you might be wondering, what makes the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny special? The answer lies in the history of the coin, the materials used, and the rarity of certain versions. Let's break it down and take a closer look at what makes this penny stand out. The first factor that adds to the value of the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny is its connection to World War II. As I mentioned earlier, the U.S. Mint had been forced to shift to a steel composition for pennies in 1943. But in 1944, the Mint returned to using copper, which was a critical material for wartime production. This shift back to copper meant that the 1944 penny was once again made from a more traditional metal, making it significant to collectors who appreciate coins that represent the historical transitions of the era. But what really makes the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny stand out is the rarity of certain mint marks. If you're familiar with coin collecting, you'll know that mint marks are essential to determining a coin's origin and, often, its rarity. The 1944 penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint produced the majority of the 1944 pennies, which means these coins are more common and less valuable than those minted in Denver or San Francisco. But here's where it gets even more interesting. While the Philadelphia Mint produced 1.1 billion of these pennies, the Denver and San Francisco mints produced far fewer, making them much rarer and more valuable. The Denver Mint produced 430 million 1944 pennies, while the San Francisco Mint produced just 282 million. So, naturally, the 1944 pennies with the D and S mint marks are worth more than the ones with no mint mark at all. But even among these rarer versions, there are still variations that can affect value, such as pennies that were produced with slight errors during the minting process, which we'll talk more about later. The next factor that can significantly impact the value of the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny is its condition. Like all coins, the state of preservation plays a huge role in determining its worth. The most common 1944 pennies you'll find in circulation or in your collection are likely to have signs of wear, such as scratches, discoloration, or corrosion, especially if they've been around for decades. But there are always exceptions. Coins that have been carefully preserved or even remain in uncirculated condition are much rarer and thus more valuable. When a coin is in mint condition, meaning it has been stored well and shows minimal signs of wear, it can fetch much higher prices. For a 1944 penny, even one with a standard mint mark and no special errors, if it's in pristine uncirculated condition, could be worth anywhere from $10 to $50 or more. But if you have a coin that has a combination of rarity, excellent preservation, and an error, you might be looking at something much more valuable. Speaking of errors, one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is the possibility of finding a coin with a minting error. These errors can range from minor mistakes, like a double die, where the design is struck twice, causing a blurry or overlapping image, to major flaws, such as off-center strikes or missing details. A 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny with a rare error is much more desirable to collectors because it is unique and cannot be replicated. For example, there are 1944 pennies that were mistakenly struck on steel planchets, the metal blanks used to make the coin, instead of copper. Since steel was only used for pennies in 1943, these steel 1944 pennies are incredibly rare and highly sought after. If you come across one of these, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Other rare errors on 1944 pennies include double die varieties, where the coin has been struck with 2 different dies, creating a double image of Lincoln's profile or the word Liberty. These errors are extremely rare and can sometimes push the value of a 1944 penny well into the thousands of dollars. As you can see, the potential for a valuable find is huge. Another important aspect of the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny is its symbolic connection to American history. The penny features the likeness of President Abraham Lincoln, who served as the 16th president and played a crucial role during the Civil War. The Lincoln cent has been a constant part of American coinage for over a century, and the 1944 version is particularly poignant because it was minted during a time of global conflict and national change. Owning a 1944 penny, especially one in excellent condition or with a rare mint error, is like holding a piece of history in your hands. So, how much is the 1944 Lincoln Wheat Penny worth today? Well, based on the factors I've mentioned, mint mark, condition, and any possible errors, the price of a 1944 penny can vary widely. If you happen to have a 1944 penny in excellent condition or one with a rare mint mark or minting error, you could be looking at a value much higher than what you'd expect from a typical coin. In fact, a particularly rare or well-preserved 1944 penny could be worth as much as $120,000, that's right, $120,000 for a single penny. It's truly incredible how something as small as a penny, which was once worth only 1 cent, could be worth such a large sum today. This just goes to show that coin collecting is not only about the thrill of the hunt but also about understanding the history and significance behind each coin. Today, we're diving into one of the most exciting and coveted coins in American history, the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny. This seemingly humble penny holds a deep historical significance and could potentially be worth a fortune. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or someone just starting out, this video will give you an in-depth look into why the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny is a must-have in any collection, and how it could be worth more than you think. The Lincoln Wheat Penny was introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the obverse of the coin featured a portrait of President Lincoln, while the reverse displayed 2 stalks of wheat, symbolizing America's agricultural roots. The coin was issued for nearly 50 years before it was replaced in 1959 with the Lincoln Memorial design. But while the coin may have changed over the years, the legacy and the value of the Lincoln Wheat Penny have continued to grow. Now, you might be wondering, what makes the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny so special? The year 1957 marks the last year that the iconic wheat design was used on the reverse of the coin. Following 1958, the U.S. Mint switched to the Lincoln Memorial design, which has become the familiar design seen on pennies to this day. The 1957 penny, therefore, stands as the final chapter in the story of the wheat penny, making it both historically significant and highly desirable among collectors. Before we talk about its value, let's first discuss the context in which the 1957 penny was minted. The United States was in a period of economic prosperity following World War II. The 1950s saw the country emerge as a global superpower, and with it, American culture flourished. This was also a time of significant industrial growth and an era where the U.S. Mint was churning out massive quantities of coins to keep up with the booming economy. By the time the 1957 penny was released, the U.S. Mint had produced billions of these coins, making them more common than other years. However, what makes the 1957 penny stand out are the conditions in which it was minted, the rarity of certain variations, and its connection to the larger historical context. The 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny was minted in large quantities, with billions of coins entering circulation. In fact, over 1.5 billion 1957 pennies were minted across 3 different U.S. Mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most of these coins were circulated, meaning they experienced wear and tear and lost their shine over time. That's where the rarity and value come into play. If you have a 1957 penny in excellent, uncirculated condition, or better yet, one with a rare error or minting flaw, you could be holding a coin that is worth significantly more than its face value. Let's dive deeper into the factors that can make your 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny worth a small fortune. Mint marks matter. The first factor in determining the value of a 1957 penny is the mint mark. The U.S. Mint produced these coins in 3 locations: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, denoted by a D; and San Francisco, denoted by an S. The 1957 pennies without a mint mark are the most common, but those with the D or S mint marks are rarer and, therefore, more valuable. While the majority of the 1957 pennies came from Philadelphia, the Denver and San Francisco mints produced significantly fewer coins. So if you happen to have a 1957 penny with a D or S mint mark, you've got a more valuable coin on your hands. Condition is key. Condition is crucial when determining the value of any coin, including the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny. As with any coin, the less wear and tear it has, the more valuable it becomes. The more pristine the coin is, the higher its value. Coins that are graded as MS-65, mint state, or higher are considered to be in exceptional condition and can command impressive prices at auction. But even coins with minor wear can still be worth more than face value, especially if they are rare mint marks or have unusual features. Now, let's talk about the real treasures that can make your 1957 penny worth much more than the average coin in circulation: Errors and variations. Error coins and variations. Minting errors are one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting, and the 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny is no exception. Over the years, the U.S. Mint has produced coins with a variety of mistakes, and some of these errors can make a coin incredibly valuable. A few examples of minting errors that can make a 1957 penny stand out are double die errors. One of the most well-known and sought-after errors is the double die, which occurs when the die used to strike the coin was misaligned. This results in a blurry or doubled image on the coin, often affecting the lettering or portrait of President Lincoln. A double die error can make a 1957 penny extremely rare and highly collectible. Off-center strikes. An off-center strike happens when the coin is not properly aligned during the minting process, causing the design to be struck at an angle. Off-center coins are always a novelty in the world of coin collecting, and they can be worth significantly more than a standard coin in excellent condition. Repunched mint marks. Sometimes, the mint mark on a coin can be repunched, leading to a coin with a misaligned mint mark. These coins are rare and, depending on the severity of the repunching, can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Die cracks and cuts. Over time, the dies used to mint coins wear down, which can result in cracks or small pieces of metal becoming attached to the coin. These imperfections are called die cracks and die cuts. They're often seen as unique and add to the rarity of a coin. If you come across a 1957 penny that has one of these errors or rare features, you could have a valuable coin on your hands. The importance of historical context. The 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny is the final coin of the Wheat series, which was replaced in 1959 by the Lincoln Memorial design. This makes the 1957 penny an important part of American coinage history. Owning a piece of this history makes it more than just a coin, it's a symbol of an era gone by. Collectors not only value these coins for their rarity and condition but also for their historical significance. The transition from the Wheat Penny to the Lincoln Memorial Penny marks the end of one chapter in U.S. coinage and the beginning of another, and the 1957 penny sits squarely at the crossroads of these two eras. The 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny's value. So, after considering all these factors, mint mark, condition, and potential errors, you're probably wondering how much a 1957 Lincoln Wheat Penny is worth. The answer can vary widely based on these elements, but if you have a 1957 penny in excellent condition or with a rare error, the value can skyrocket. For example, a 1957 penny in uncirculated condition with a rare mint mark could be worth anywhere from $50 to $500 or more. But here's the real kicker: if you have a particularly rare 1957 penny, one with a significant error, a unique feature, or a rare mint mark, its value could be as high as $130,000. Yes, you heard that right, $130,000 for a single penny. It's amazing to think how a coin that was once worth just 1 cent could appreciate to such a massive value. Today, we're going to dive into one of the most fascinating and sought-after coins in American numismatics, the 1975 Lincoln Wheat Penny. Yes, you heard it right, this coin, which many people consider just another part of everyday currency, could be worth a lot more than you might expect. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting to get into the exciting world of coins, the 1975 Lincoln Wheat Penny is definitely one worth keeping an eye on. The Lincoln Wheat Penny, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, was one of the longest-running coins in American history. It was produced for almost 50 years until it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. However, for a few more decades, this iconic design was still part of the coinage landscape, and the 1975 version of this coin has an intriguing history. The coin has seen several significant historical milestones, including the end of the Wheat Penny era, which makes it a unique collectible. Now, you may be asking, why focus on the 1975 Lincoln Wheat Penny? After all, it's part of the modern era of coins, and you might think it's just another regular penny. Well, there's much more to this coin than meets the eye. The 1975 penny is not just a piece of currency, it's a potential goldmine for those who know where to look. To understand why the 1975 Lincoln Wheat Penny is so special, we first need to explore its production. The coin was minted at the height of a period in American history marked by economic and political shifts. The country was in the midst of the 1970s, an era of inflation, social change, and cultural transformation. In the years leading up to 1975, there was increasing concern over the U.S. economy, which led to the government needing to produce vast amounts of coins, including the ever-popular Lincoln Wheat Penny. But despite these large quantities, the 1975 version of the penny has unique features that can dramatically impact its value, especially when considering its condition. In 1975, the United States Mint produced these pennies in large numbers, meaning that many of them were put into circulation. While that may seem like it would make the coin relatively common and inexpensive, the truth is that certain versions of this penny are harder to find than you might expect. Most of the 1975 Lincoln Wheat Pennies that you come across today will be well-worn and show signs of heavy circulation. However, if you're fortunate enough to find one in excellent condition, it could be worth a lot more than the 1-cent face value. The first thing to look for when evaluating your 1975 penny is the mint mark. The U.S. Mint produces coins in several locations, and each location marks its coins with a mint mark to show where it was made. The 1975 Lincoln Wheat Penny came from 3 major mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The majority of these pennies were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark. This makes Philadelphia minted 1975 pennies more common than those minted at the Denver and San Francisco locations, while the absence of a mint mark makes the 1975 Philadelphia penny relatively common. The coins from the Denver and San Francisco mints are much rarer and more valuable. If you have a 1975 penny with a D or S mint mark, you could be sitting on a small treasure. These coins are not only rarer but also more desirable to collectors, as they represent a unique part of American history. In fact, some 1975 pennies with these mint marks have been known to fetch higher prices at auctions, especially if they are in pristine, uncirculated condition. Now, let's talk about coin condition, because this is another critical factor in determining how much your 1975 Lincoln Wheat Penny is worth. If you're lucky enough to find a coin in mint condition, the value can jump significantly. Coins that are well preserved and show no signs of wear or scratches are typically graded higher, and higher-grade coins can command much higher prices. Coins graded as MS-65, mint state, or higher are considered to be in outstanding condition and can easily be worth much more than a standard, worn-out penny. But what really makes the 1975 Lincoln Wheat Penny stand out in the world of coin collecting is the rarity of errors and variations. Minting errors occur when the coin dies used to produce the penny are damaged, misaligned, or improperly handled. These mistakes are rare and often make certain coins much more valuable. If you find a 1975 penny with a double die error, this could be a game changer. A double die occurs when the coin is struck twice with the same die, creating a blurry or doubled effect on the coin's design. Double die errors are highly sought after by collectors and can greatly increase the value of a coin, even a penny. Another error that can make a 1975 Lincoln Wheat Penny more valuable is a misaligned die, which causes the coin to be struck off-center. This error can result in a coin that has a unique and asymmetrical design, and it's a feature that collectors often pay top dollar for. These coins can be hard to find, but if you're fortunate enough to discover one, the value could soar. There are also repunched mint marks that can add value to a 1975 penny. Mint marks are applied to the coin dies, and occasionally, the mint mark can be repunched, leaving a faint secondary mint mark. This error creates a one-of-a-kind coin that collectors will pay top dollar to acquire. Now that we've explored the key features and potential errors, let's talk about the market value of the 1975 Lincoln Wheat Penny. As we've mentioned, the most common version of the coin, those minted at the Philadelphia Mint, is worth only its face value of 1 cent if it is in circulated condition. However, once you begin factoring in rarity, mint marks, and coin condition, the value can rise sharply. A 1975 Lincoln Wheat Penny in uncirculated condition, especially one from the Denver or San Francisco Mint, can easily be worth $10 to $100 or more. But here's the big surprise: if you have a 1975 penny with a minting error or in pristine, uncirculated condition, you could be holding something truly special. So, here's the moment you've been waiting for. If you have a rare 1975 Lincoln Wheat Penny with a significant error or in perfect condition, you could be looking at a value of up to $95,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $95,000 for a single penny. This is a prime example of how the world of coin collecting can transform an ordinary piece of currency into something extraordinary. To sum it all up, the 1975 Lincoln Wheat Penny is far from just another penny. With the right mint mark, condition, and possible errors, this seemingly simple coin can be worth an incredible amount of money. If you're lucky enough to stumble upon one of these rare and valuable pennies, you could be in for a fantastic windfall. So, the next time you find a 1975 penny in your change, take a close look. It might just be the key to unlocking a treasure trove of coins worth far more than you ever imagined. Today, we're diving deep into a coin that might seem like just another piece of everyday currency but actually has the potential to surprise you with its value, the 1976 Lincoln Wheat Penny. You may be wondering, how could a coin like this, which was minted over 4 decades ago, be worth anything other than its face value? Well, sit tight, because by the end of this video, you might be looking at your spare pennies in a whole new light. For those of you who are just getting started in coin collecting or for the seasoned experts among us, the Lincoln Wheat Penny holds a special place in the history of American coinage. First introduced in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln, the design remained in circulation for nearly half a century. Though the iconic wheat design was officially replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959, the Lincoln Wheat Penny continued to capture the interest of collectors long after it ceased circulating. But today, we're going to focus on the particular year of 1976, which may seem like a random choice. However, this particular penny is far from ordinary. The year 1976 was significant in U.S. history as it marked the bicentennial of the American Revolution. Although the bicentennial theme was primarily celebrated with the release of special coins like the 1776 to 1976 quarter, the 1976 Lincoln Wheat Penny was still minted as part of regular coinage. Despite being part of routine production, certain 1976 Lincoln Wheat Pennies, especially in exceptional condition or with rare minting errors, have become highly sought after by collectors and numismatists. So, what makes this coin so valuable, and why should you pay attention to it? To understand the true worth of a 1976 Lincoln Wheat Penny, let's break down some of the key elements that influence its value. The most obvious factor is rarity. While the 1976 penny was minted in large quantities, it was still produced as part of regular circulation and many have been worn down due to time and usage. Most of the pennies that you'll encounter today have passed through numerous hands, seen years of circulation, and are often far from mint condition. So, finding a 1976 penny in pristine condition is already a rarity, and that rarity is a key factor in its value. Before diving into how condition plays a role, let's first talk about the mint mark on the 1976 Lincoln Wheat Penny. The U.S. Mint produced these pennies in several locations, and each mint placed its own mark on the coins to indicate where they were struck. For the 1976 pennies, there were 3 primary mints involved: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The vast majority of the 1976 pennies were minted in Philadelphia, with no mint mark, while the Denver Mint and San Francisco Mint also produced these coins, but in much smaller quantities. Coins minted in Denver have a D mint mark, while those from San Francisco have an S mint mark. Why does the mint mark matter so much? Well, coins with the D or S mint mark tend to be much rarer than those produced in Philadelphia. Most people simply didn't pay attention to the mint mark when they received their change, so it's easy for these rarer varieties to get lost in the shuffle. Over the years, the value of these D and S mint mark coins has steadily increased due to their scarcity. However, there's more to this coin than just its mint mark. The true value of any coin is deeply tied to its condition, and that's where things get really interesting with the 1976 Lincoln Wheat Penny. Coins that are in great shape, free of scratches, dents, and discoloration, tend to be much more valuable. A coin's grade is determined by its level of wear, and coins that are in uncirculated condition are worth far more than those that have been in circulation for years. The grading system used by professionals includes several key levels of condition, including MS-60, MS-63, and even MS-70, the highest grade possible. A coin that has been well preserved and shows no signs of wear may be classified as an MS-65 or higher, which significantly increases its value. In the case of the 1976 Lincoln Wheat Penny, a well-preserved coin can easily sell for several times its face value. But when you get into pristine, uncirculated examples, that's where the real excitement happens for collectors. Now, what if you happen to come across a misprinted or error coin from 1976? That's where things get really exciting. Like any other coin, the 1976 Lincoln Wheat Penny could have experienced issues during its production process. Minting errors occur when something goes wrong during the production of the coin, whether it's a misalignment of the dies, a double strike, or an unusual die crack. These errors can make a coin highly valuable because they're rare and unique. A 1976 penny with a double die, for example, could easily fetch much more than a standard penny. Some error coins can even sell for thousands of dollars, depending on their rarity and condition. Another type of error coin that can significantly increase the value of a 1976 penny is the off-center strike. When a coin isn't properly aligned when it's struck by the die, it results in an off-center image, making the coin look like it was struck incorrectly. These types of errors are highly collectible because they're unique, and collectors often pay a premium to get their hands on one. If you find a 1976 penny with an off-center strike, don't dismiss it as a mistake. Remember, it could be worth far more than you expect. So, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. What is the value of the 1976 Lincoln Wheat Penny today? As we've discussed, the 1976 Lincoln Wheat Penny is not worth much at face value unless it is in pristine, uncirculated condition or has a unique minting error. The typical 1976 penny in average condition is worth only a few cents, while coins in higher grade conditions can go for a few dollars. But when you're talking about a high-grade, error-free coin from a rare mint, the value of the coin can skyrocket. The key to this coin's value is its rarity, condition, and any potential errors that make it stand out from the crowd. If you've stumbled upon a pristine, uncirculated 1976 Lincoln Wheat Penny with no wear or damage, it could be worth a pretty penny, especially if it has one of the rarer mint marks. The best part? If you happen to find a rare mint error, such as a double die or off-center strike, you could be looking at an even higher price. Collectors always love rare and unique specimens, and the more uncommon the coin, the more valuable it becomes. After taking all of this into consideration, if you find the right 1976 Lincoln Wheat Penny in outstanding condition, or even one with a rare minting error, it could be worth as much as $90,000. That's right, a single penny, in the right circumstances, could be worth a fortune. Imagine the excitement if you discovered that hidden treasure in your collection or your change. JAR.in conclusion, the 1976 Lincoln Wheat Penny is far from ordinary. With the right conditions, mint marks, and possible errors, it can be a highly valuable coin. So, the next time you spot a 1976 penny, take a moment to examine it closely. You might just be holding onto a piece of history that's worth far more than you ever thought. Keep your eyes open, and happy hunting. You never know when you might discover a coin worth $90,000.